Hello and welcome to the live stream of My Life After 50, Frank Morrison. I hope you all have had a great week. If you're brand new to my channel, thanks so much for dropping in on this live stream that I've started. I'm in my 5th week of doing this, and I will remind again, the basis of my live stream is about how I started my YouTube channel, and that first subject being how I quit drinking. How I beat the evils of alcohol is what I called it. And if you haven't seen that video, scroll down through the library that I have. I have quite a few videos, but that one specifically is about why I'm doing this live stream. Um, I know there's plenty out there. There's plenty of people out there that are struggling with this situation, and many that are afraid to open up about it. So, the plan with this live stream was to give you an opportunity to listen to me as I speak. These are about 10 or 15 minutes long. Last week was a little bit longer. I had some technical difficulties tonight. Knock on wood, I'm not having any. I'm really happy about that. Um, Again, it's going to be between 10 and 15 minutes. Last week went about 20 minutes long. And I did actually, after the fact, ended up getting over 15 views. I know that's not a lot, but you got to start somewhere. And I'm glad I'm getting those views. I got a couple of thumbs ups slash likes. Very happy about that. I picked up another subscriber in the last 7 days. So I am up to 241. So I'm getting there. The plan, yes, is to get monetized. Um, but getting back to this subject, and I think it's really important that I state, as I did forget to last week, that I am in no means a doctor. I don't have a medical degree. I'm not a therapist. I don't have any background in anything that has to do with medicine or with therapy. I'm just a regular guy who went through a terrible time that came out of it with, and I use this word weekly, if not close to daily, clarity. And you can lose sense of that clarity very quickly. Uh, Alcohol can just take a hold of you, um, and you think you're fine. You think you can be what's called a functioning alcoholic, and that's just it. You think you can do it, um, but you're just doing damage. You're doing damage left and right, obviously to you. And if you think about it, don't you want to live a long life? Don't you want to have memories of everything you did instead of waking up just feeling horrible every day and relying on alcohol to make you feel better? And everybody's got the reasons why they drink. Um, Honestly, I was a casual drinker, but it just grew and grew. And I'll mention a couple of the same things each video, each week. Just if you're brand new to this, um, I, I was a wine collector. I had a fun little cellar in the basement of our home, and it, things just got out of control. Um, and as I say in each video, I don't want to go off in too many different directions. Last week, I started what I'm calling Frank's Weekly Five. So I do want to, before I get to this week's Weekly Five, um, if any of you that start to view this week's video, if you have anything to say about last week's video, I'd love to hear from you. Um, and I'll keep my eye on the chat, so you'll see my eyes kind of going towards my computer screen, but that's because I'm looking for some folks to chat, and I'm here for you. So ask anything you want. Let me get to number one of Frank's Weekly Five. And I talked about it earlier. Have you had thoughts of having clarity? Well, what do you mean, Frank? Well, that's my way of saying, have you had thoughts of taking the first steps of quitting drinking? If you have, that's fantastic. If there's a maybe there, that's fantastic. If there's a no, it's still okay. You're watching the video, so you're watching the live stream, so maybe you're getting closer. Um, I was in a bad place, man, real bad. Um, but I'm so proud of everything that I've done, and I'm living an amazing life. Um, and I'm very proud of myself for doing so, and I have no problem saying that. Um, so I do hope that you have had thoughts of clarity. That's a wonderful thing. Number two, are you concerned that when you quit drinking, it will be hard to be around those who still drink? I think that that's a major one for a lot of people. Um, you're afraid that you're not going to be able to have the control to not drink, and I get that. Um, I don't have that problem. Am I lucky? I don't know. As I've mentioned in each of the videos, am I a rare bird because of the way that I've been able to handle um, my quitting? And by the way, it's going on. Yeah, I just actually, today's the 25th. Yes, I've gone into my 10th year. It was November 22nd, I believe, of 2015. Um, and I'll tell a few stories in and out of each video just to give you an idea of what I was going through. Um, hold that thought. I'll come back to it. Getting back to number two, look, that's gonna be a problem, but you are in control of your willpower, and you have to want it. You have to know that there is a really good life without the need of alcohol. You can have just as much fun without it. And I also want to say this. I'm not saying that everyone has a problem drinking. If you're watching this video, I believe it's because you've reached a certain line, um, and you know that that line's been crossed, and you got to do something about it. Here will be this week's story. Um, and I hate if I repeat it. I'm sorry. This is live stream. I may have said it in my first video, but it's pretty solid. So this is that day. There's a couple of days before the 22nd or 23rd. I don't have it written down of the day that I actually decided to quit. Um, I was on my couch in my living room, and I was about to have a seizure. I knew it was coming, and my wife at the time was home. My son was home, and I looked to the power. And I'm going to say this: I looked to the power of my feelings of my son and how much I cared for him to ask him to come to my side and hold my hand. And that's not easy for anybody to do, especially your son. And I believe he was 14 at the time. Ian, I'm sorry if I've got the age wrong. And he held my hand, and I focused straight on him with my eyes, and I stopped the seizure. Now that's nuts. But the following day, that was it. I got it. That was my sign, and I had had some communications with a nurse, um, because I had been in and out of the hospital with seizures. And this nurse left me her phone number. Um, anytime that I felt like maybe I was close to deciding to do something about this, to call her. And I called her up, and I got to tell you, she was so happy to hear from me. Within minutes, she had called the facility that I went to, and last week I mentioned that I've I'd set the pamphlet somewhere, and that I would show it again. So here it is here, and I was living in North Carolina, the mountains of North Carolina at the time. So this is in Hickory, North Carolina. These people are unbelievable, but she literally set that up within no time, and I was going that day. I went that day. So that's my story for this week about what I went through, um, and that's the last day before I decided to get professional help. I'll finish up maybe one or two more comments about number two, um, and it actually leads into number four. You have the strength to still maintain your friendship with your friends, your family, but you have to have that inside, and you have that. You just have to lock onto it, and you have to feel that power, because it is pretty freaking powerful when you get over that hump, I'll call it, of knowing that you're gonna be good. Um, Number three, you control your destiny. Well, that wraps into what I just said. It is entirely up to you how successful you want to be in quitting. Um, you got to have the faith in yourself, and you got to know that people around you are going to be ecstatic that you're going to do something about this. Um, Number four, this is about you and not the people around you. I'm going to say that again. This is about you and not the people around you. Now, that means a couple of different things. Most importantly, don't worry about what they think, because you're diving into the path of clarity. And the power in this, when you've been in a deep, dark place, is unbelievable. It's literally unbelievable. And I have it every day. Don't worry about the people around you. Their love is going to be there for you. They're going to be incredibly proud of you, and they're going to help you along the way. And you also have to be willing to open up to them so that they can help you. Number five, sobriety is not about what you're giving up, rather, what you're taking back. Sobriety, quitting drinking, it is not about what you're giving up. Forget about what you're giving up, because it's useless. And I'll go back to last week's live stream, a couple of comments I made about some things. It's about what you're taking back, which is your life. Good sleep, better diet, doing all the right things that are good for you, and knowing exactly what you're doing all the hours that you're awake. How about dreams? I love dreams. You're going to get your dreams back, or you're going to remember them, and they're actually going to have way more meaning than what the dreams were when you were out of it, trying to sleep off the last night's binge or whatever it is. Um, Going back to what I was going to say about last week's video, I had talked about the financial side of that. So let's go back to that real quick, which is rather what you take back. Well, how about you take back your finances? I used a number last week. I actually got a little bit of a cheat sheet here. I'll mention it again. If you're spending 20 bucks a day, which I think in today's world, because I I don't know, I mean I kind of do, the cost of what alcohol is, but it's much more than what it was in the mid 2000s and late 2000s when I started to have my my major problem. Anyway, 20 bucks a day, that comes out to in a year 7280 bucks. 7280 bucks. Come on, man. What is the point? What is the point? Just to feel good for a little while? I'm sorry. I now that I'm on the other side of it, I talk firmly about this because for God's sakes, that's in a year. Well, this was going on for me for 10 years. Okay? Spending that kind of money. Not the severity of it, but spending that kind of money. If no, it's probably more than that. So do the math on that. Let's just say it's 10 years. That's almost $75,000 I've wasted on alcohol. Uh, I mean, I almost want to punch myself in the face because, you know, money, you got to have it. And to think back about all of that money I wasted, I mean, I could think about so many things that I could do with that money that are so much more important than getting wasted and wasting brain cells and all that ridiculous stuff. I actually have um, one last statement I'm gonna make, and we'll call it number six. We'll call it a bonus. Um, and I hope these have helped. And I'm trying to just I don't want to say I'm trying to be creative. I'm trying to be random about this. Um, anyway, here's number six. Believe it or not, because I I however many times in a week this happens, and maybe it doesn't happen that often. It's actually fun to turn down someone who offers you a drink. Sorry, I quit. Or, yeah, I don't drink. Sorry, but thank you. They they'll look at you. Really? Wow, that's fantastic. I can't tell you how many people have said that exact thing. Wow, that's fantastic. What happened? And guess what? When they say what happened, I turn them right to my video. Whether they watch it or not, I talk about it. And they go, "Oh my gosh, are you serious? I would never have guessed." And that just makes me feel amazing. So it's actually fun to say, I don't drink. And you know what? You will get so much respect from the person who you're having that conversation with or the person who offered it. It'll blow your mind. It's really a great feeling. So that's this week's session. This week's session. Wow, that's a medical term? Good gosh. That's this week's live stream, and I'm always going to leave the live stream with this. I'm very proud of this shirt. Here it is here. And I want you to make today your best day ever until tomorrow. There's a story behind that. And if you watch this video and you want to know about the story, hit me up with the chat next week. And I would love to talk about that because I owe this gentleman a big thank you for it. So, folks, make today your best day ever until tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.